Sue Bird clenched her arms so tightly that her knuckles became white as she stood on the sidelines. 11 future Hall of Famers, 2. At the same moment, all of the building's camera phones, 3 assistants and head coaches stopped moving. Because Caitlin Clark took one careless dribble after catching the ball at the logo and gazed directly at the defensive exercise as if it owed her money. She remained silent. She didn't require to. The gym was aware of what was about to happen. You had previously felt it in your chest. You witnessed it. Just before lightning strikes, there's a thick, electrifying quiet. Everybody in. For the past 3 months, the gym has been informed, either overtly or covertly, that Caitlin Clark wasn't prepared for this phase, that she was injured, and that the veterans needed to protect her. Their flowers first, so she need to wait her turn. On podcasts, they stated that. On panel shows, they said it. They thought she wouldn't see what they said in group chats. For weeks, she added. Nothing at all in return. She recently underwent treatment. She simply lifted. She just fired. In deserted gyms around 5 in the morning. Many people on the internet debated whether or not she even belonged. After that, Team USA set up camp. Moreover, the practice doors were meant to be locked on the 3rd day. No cell phones, no drama, just leaks, but someone made a record. Nevertheless, 37 seconds of video were altered. The American women's basketball system as a whole. 37 seconds that resulted in Sue Bird, the same Sue Bird who won gold in Zero Fear, murmurs beneath. She broke everything. She's not good. She's not back, she said under her breath. Anything. Additionally, the WNBA timeline didn't just blow up. Because Caitlin's actions over those 37 seconds lacked expertise, it caught fire and would not go out. It was violent. Pure dominance is the only way to be violent. You know if you know. If not, stay tuned because we're going to enter that gym one moment at a time and demonstrate how. When Caitlin Clark entered the most packed practice in the history of women's basketball, she appeared to be dead in the eye, and finally put an end to the argument. Let's go back to the precise moment the gym passed away. The exercise was easy. Half court, 5 on 5. The young chosen team faces the veteran squad. The veterans have just completed 6 consecutive possessions as if it were a gold medal match. I was barking. Brianna was locking. They raised their wings as if they had stolen something. DT was speaking in a hot manner. Sabrina was moving like a ghost without the ball. Sue had that cool killing expression on her face as she stood on the baseline. She declared, since 2002, they were nodding slowly and crossing their arms like a proud professor. Up 11-4. This is still our team. The message was clear, Caitlin said. There was only a referee's whistle, no music, and her making her way to the scorer's table as if she was running late for her trip. She didn't even touch the ball during the first possession. She recently set a Kelsey Plum was launched into the 3rd row by a flare screen. Second possession. The defense fell apart as if they had been training after she caught at the nail and made one forceful dribble to the left. For the entirety of their existence at this same time. She never returned the ball during the 3rd possession. Make a catch near the left wing. 1. Hesitating, filing for unemployment because the defender's ankles are filthy. Take a step back. Logo number 3. The net remained still. Simply swish. Silence. Next, Jewel Lloyd, who was watching over her, let out a half-prayer half-laugh that reverberated throughout the gym. Sue Bird did not applaud. She didn't grin. She simply shook her head slowly, glanced at Diana Taurasi, and mouthed 2 phrases that were readable from the inexpensive chairs. She's not good, she's different. Unlike the game, only. Was instantly rewritten. And it was just the warm-up. What transpired next left adult millionaires wondering. Their personal legacies. The coaches attempted to restart the exercise. Run it, blue. Once more. However, Caitlin hadn't stopped, so nobody moved. She went directly to. The referee called her own play, pointed at the novice, and snatched the ball from him as if it had been hers all along. The chosen team's point guard gestured at the logo and the corner. She then jogged to half court and faced away. Addressed the veteran squad as a whole and watched the clock for 10 seconds. The gym was really. You could hear the vibration of someone's Apple Watch. I took a step up my chest. She desired to smoke. Caitlin grinned. Not the pleasant one. The one who declares, I've been waiting for 3 months to show you what silence looks like. Caitlin captured it with its back to the bench. Like she was bored, she had a ball on her hip. The defense changes after one dribble. One more dribble. Left, assist with the rotation. Then she accomplished something no one had ever witnessed in person in that gym. She got up from damn near. The cue for volleyball. Elbow locked, wrist loose, body motionless as. At 2 in the morning, she was filming her driveway. The ball exited her hand so high that it was captured in slow time by the lighting. Halo. At the same moment, every head in the building tipped back. Swish. The internet turned inside out. Sue Bird lowered her arms to her sides. Terrace, Diana, turned around and gazed at the ground as if she had witnessed the death of her own destiny. Additionally, Cheryl Reeve, the head coach who allegedly didn't choose Caitlin, shouting out the only thing that came to mind. Put an end to the drill. Caitlin wasn't finished, though. She went directly to mid-court, gave Sue Bird a lifeless stare, and uttered the 5 words that put an end to a whole era. Who will be watching over me next? 4 complete seconds. There was no breathing in the gym. 4. After a brief period of complete silence, the youngest assistant coach, a 31-year-old who grew up observing Sue, he began clapping on his own after seeing Bird posters on his wall. Go slowly at first, then quicker. The entire select team then got involved. Next, the instructors, followed by the people, and even the veterans, who were meant to detest this moment, began to nod because they all felt it. Simultaneously, the torch failed to pass. It was taken. Furthermore, Caitlin wasn't requesting authorization. She was making a list. At last, Sue Bird spread her arms and entered the court. And took an unexpected action. She didn't give lectures. She didn't make fun of her. She didn't pull rank. Run it back, she said loudly enough for the cheap seats after grabbing the ball and bouncing it once. The whole gym went crazy. I got her. Sue Bird, 39 for 19 WNBA seasons, the Olympics, and the rookie who wasn't even expected to be present. This was no longer a drill. Witnesses were involved in this collaboration. Caitlin grinned once more, but not in the same way. They checked, and this smile stated, "Thank you for finally seeing me." Half court with the ball. No clock, no referee, only legends and the girl who refused to be silent. Sue changed everything, rejected the ball, instructed the whole time. She learnt that maneuver from me. She learnt that maneuver from me. Caitlin simply gave a nod. Then, in her own perspective, she did the one thing that immediately caused Sue Bird to retire. She replicated Sue's precise pause, precise cadence, precise shoulder fake, and then increased the range by 3 feet. Once more, logo bomb. Sue didn't even watch the ball go in. She was already gazing up at the ceiling and grinning like someone who had just discovered that a game is in a different hands right now. This time, she turned to face the sidelines and remarked aloud she really broke everything. That's where the video cuts. 37 seconds of black screen. It seemed like 37 years. However, practice continued inside that gym. It's changed. Players who weren't even present during that session began showing up at the doors because word got out so quickly. Was the night of the fight. Fiza Collier entered the room while the conversation was still in progress. Hand, mouth agape. The door was kicked open by Alyssa Thomas with such force that it rebounded against the wall. Chelsea Gray is still in her slides from therapy, hobbled in to check the veracity of the rumors. Additionally, Caitlin never took a seat. She never grabbed some water. She simply continued pointing to the next criminal, as if she were crossing individuals off a list that she had been making since June in her head. They came forward one by one. Jewel Lloyd had a terrible cross. The scorer's table caught her. "Man, what the?" said Kelsey Plum as she was struck by a double hesitation. Sabrina Ionescu attempted to play up on her before the ball had even left and paid. Because every sound was louder than the 30-foot dagger that caused Sabrina to turn a bench and say, "I'm out." Last 3 months of being branded conceited, entitled, hurt, overrated, protected, and vulnerable were associated with each make. Each swish served as a receipt. They won't acknowledge the fact that everyone is still discussing it in group conversations. At last, Diana Taurasi took the initiative. DT the real white mamba. The individual who stated she would practice with Caitlin. The person who chuckled when others suggested Caitlin should be on the Olympic team. She chewed her mouthguard like gum as she approached slowly. There are gaps in Caitlin's soul. The gym as a whole created a circle. The phones resurfaced. This was no longer basketball. This was ancestry. DT gave the floor 2 smacks. "Come on, child." Caitlin remained still. She simply said the coldest, quietest thing anyone has ever heard in a basketball facility in the United States after bouncing the ball once and again. "For this treasure, I had been waiting my entire life." Then, in front of everyone, she ended Diana Taurasi's career. The possession was innocent at first. The first 2 passes were disallowed by DT as if she was disinterested. With hands raised, feet moving, and that old mind mess all over the place,